Hey, I'm Charisse Monè't, and welcome to A Word on Books. I'd like to talk to you about a book I just recently listened to, and I'm going to pre-apologize because every time I say this name, I butcher it. This book is by an author named Liane Moriarty. Miss Liane, if I didn't say it right, please forgive me. The book is called Three Wishes. Miss Liane is also responsible for Big Little Liars. And if you haven't heard of Big Little Liars, then I don't know where you've been hiding. Even if you haven't watched the series or listened to the books or whatever the case may be, you've probably, at least I would hope, have heard of it. What I found interesting is when I always do the research to find out information about the length of the book and the narrator of the book and who published the book, I found there to be something interesting about this particular book. Three Wishes was originally released audio September 2014 on Tantor, Tantor Media. However, just this past year, March 2019, Harper Audio re-released this book. On both occasions, Heather Wiles was the narrator, which was great because Heather Wiles was a good narrator. Through researching, I saw that this book was listed as a comedy. And it kind of put me in the frame of mind of a romantic comedy. And I'm bringing that up because I'm going to point out something a little bit later. This book was about three triplets, two of which were identical. And two were married. And one had been engaged, but something happened that caused her not to be engaged anymore. I don't want to give that away. But that is a big, huge point in this book. It comes out a lot. I also found that, as with any and all relationships, some are good and some are bad. In this case, the relationships between the siblings were not always great. The relationships within the marriages were not always great. The other main characters in this book were the parents of the triplets and the daughter of one of the triplets, who was precocious, to say it nicely. But needless to say, she played a key factor to a lot of different things in the book. So, in this book, you'll discover that there is a climax, as with all books. But what Miss Liane did was, she started the book with a climax. So you listen to the book like, what the hell? Like, I literally went back and checked to see, did I start from the beginning because I thought I'd missed something. But I did. I started from the beginning. And what she does is she takes this climax and then she goes back to the beginning to tell us how she indeed got to that climax, and then takes us a little beyond that for a closure. In this book, she talked about just complex relationships, whether it be marital, whether it be dating, whether it be with your children, whether it be with your husband. And there were some high points and some low points. Now, what I found to be interesting in regards to this is that when you go back and you look to get the time of the books, by the way, this one was 11 and a half hours long. Sorry, I didn't say that at the beginning. When you go and you look back at getting books, I do a lot of mine either from Audible or from the library. Audible for those that I really, truly want to keep, and the library for those that I don't know necessarily if I want to invest in putting them in my digital library, but I'll start them there. But at any rate, different places will have these books ranked differently. And what I notice is that the original had more stars or more reviews, positive reviews, than the one that was recently released. And here's my 2 cents. It was released, or it is marketed as a comedy. But it's more so a romantic comedy. And to me, romantic comedies have plot twists and things don't go right and there are sad points and it's not just a ha 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 type book. So I think that it gets beat up on because it is listed as a comedy. It's a romantic comedy. and it fit the genre perfectly. For me, I thought Miss Liane did a great job in demonstrating the complexities of just relationships overall. Um, One of the funnier things in the book was the relationship between the three sisters, with two being identical. I've often heard older siblings tell younger siblings that they were adopted. I've heard it before. Um, However, I thought it was a twist to that the two identical sisters would tell the third triplet that she was adopted. And it made me laugh because that kept coming up throughout the book, even in her behaviors, the way she dealt with things or whatever. So I found this book to be enjoyable. I actually thought it was a good job. I thought that Heather Wiles did a great job both times in narrating. If she had to redo it again, I don't know. I was really fascinated about the logistics of that. Did she have to do it for Tantor Media and then have to turn around and do it for Harper Audio? I don't know. But if she did, I heard the Harper Audio version and I thought she did a great job. I enjoyed the book. If it ever turned into a movie, it would definitely be a romantic comedy. It would be one that I would be against seeing. I thought it was really good. With that, Miss Liane, I give you 4 glasses. It was a good book. If you want a book that has some comedy in it, but also has some truth in it, takes you on a little bit of emotional roller coaster throughout the book, this is the book for you. So check it out. 3 Wishes, Harper Audio 319 by Miss Liane Moriarty. Okay, Miss Liane, I hope I said that right. With that being said, I thank you for taking time to listen to me. Some of you twice today. I appreciate it and I thank you. With that being said, always remember, I'm looking to expand. I'm looking for more people to know the joy and the love that I feel when I listen to audiobooks. They're great for when you exercise. They're great for when you do housework, when you're driving on long car trips, when you don't want your children to hear the trash that's on the radio, which is how I got into audiobooks. Your long rides when you are having those long commute to work. Whatever the case may be, I think audiobooks are great. And I'd love to continue to share my passion and my love for them with so many others. And the only way I can do that is if you subscribe and you share with others on my behalf. Always remember, I appreciate you. And without you, there is no me. I thank you all. And to those of you that have subscribed, I appreciate you. Cheers. Thank you so much. And have a wonderful, wonderful day, whatever time of day it is for you.